Why doesn't the Paulk Smart Bench have T-Track in the top? The Smart Bench, the Smart Station, all the accessories that make up the Smart System have been developed over many years, in fact, over a decade. And I'm constantly thinking about how can I improve it? How can I make it better? This is TSO's Power Lock. It's a bench dog that was designed by one of the Smart fam, Dave, who worked with TSO to get this thing to the market many years ago. And this thing is a staple in the Smart Wood Shop. I use it for attaching all of the accessories to the Smart System. TSO is having their Labor Day sale right now. So if you want to get a discount on some of these power locks or any of the tools that TSO makes, I will put my affiliate link in the description of this video. Simple and easy to use. I want it to do the job, to be a woodworkers, contractors system that helps you achieve your end goal, whether it's making furniture, building cabinets, trimming houses, doing it for yourself, or whether you're a professional and doing it for others. In some of the Smart designs, I do in fact use T-Track. On the miter saw, it's T-Track that the flip stops move up and down in. The router fences have T-Track on the face. My crosscut jig has T-Track in it. There's a number of reasons that I decided against it in the Smart Bench in any of my bench top surfaces. And that is, number one, it didn't add any functionality. There's nothing that the T-Track allows me to do that I can't do with the MFT system. The MFT system, as all of you probably know, is a series of 20 millimeter holes laid out a multiple of 32, 3 times 32, or 96 millimeters. So the holes are all exactly 96 millimeters apart from end to end and side to side, and they are perfectly square. That's achieved with either cutting the top on a CNC or the way I do it with the Parf Guide Mark II. So these holes are absolutely square, and I can trust them to make square cuts. This is TSO's 18-inch triangle, a thing of beauty. It is milled to within 1/1000th of an inch. So this thing is precise. Absolutely perfect. There is no movement. We're touching on all 4 contact points. The Smart System takes advantage of these holes and their layout for the entire Smart System. It's kind of the basis, the foundation. I use them to attach all of the accessories. So the miter saw attachment, it's all fastened through those holes with the same layout with bench dogs. The router tables, the same way. The cradles that hold the various machine tools around both tables, they drop into those same holes. Because they're a system, they're exactly the same. So I can put any tool anywhere. And whatever work I'm doing, whether I'm sanding or routing, cross-cutting, ripping, all the things you've seen me do on this bench over the years, I do with these holes. Everything attaches. So the crosscut jig that I use attaches to these. The clamping possibilities are unlimited. Vessi clamps, they have this power lock. In fact, TSO took these and made a custom power lock and put these together, and then I can drop them in any hole to clamp any project down I have quickly. So just pick a hole, drop it in. With the 5 millimeter wrench, just reach down in there. And even with it tightened down, I can spin it around and set it up for whatever material thickness, clamp it down and work away at it. And bench dogs, I have a huge collection of bench dogs that, again, I can drop down whatever project I'm on. My material can go right up against them. If I'm using one of these clamps, I can put it up on the other side, push it, and clamp it against it. And because it's an industry standard spacing and sizing worldwide, there are so many accessories that you can get to work with this system. Whatever situation I'm in, whether I'm building cabinet doors or big casework, whatever, you know, putting big panels together on miters, whatever I have to do, there is a way that I can clamp it up on this. My favorite drawer in the Smart Woodshop. I have so many clamps laid out here. I keep this drawer open almost all the time, but I have tons of these F clamps like this in different lengths. And then I have these speed ones. I actually use these more than any of the others. And all of my bench dogs, you can see how many different ones I have. All of these, again, working with that MFT 20 millimeter holes. Wherever I'm working, just drop it in the hole. The work is clamped. In all the years of using this system, there's been nothing that I've needed to do that the system as is couldn't already do that T-Track would allow me to do. In the first generation of the Paulk bench, before it was the Smart system, I thought about putting T-Track all around the edge because I had the holes spaced 96 millimeters in from the edge and spaced all the way across. The bench is exactly a multiple of 96, both the width and length. So I have a mirror image every direction, but I had this space on the edge that didn't have any holes because 96 millimeters is into this first set of holes. And I was having trouble with clamping near the edge and also attaching some accessories. As I experimented and tested, I found that adding another set of 20 millimeter holes, 32 millimeters in from the edge, gave me what I needed. The next place that I considered a T-Track was on the side right here. Embedded in, of course, because I don't want anything protruding from the bench anywhere. So it would have been dadoed in. And I considered it. In fact, I played around with some samples to do it. And it just didn't help me that much because between being able to clamp to these perimeter holes and further holes here, both because I can always also clamp from underneath, that gives me great clamping all along this edge. And I can also just use the opening itself to clamp. So I do a couple of clamps like that, and then whatever I need to do to an edge like this, and it can be the full length or even longer. So again, I found no advantage to adding T-Track. The design just worked, and there was nothing that I asked it to do that it couldn't already do. One of the reasons I did not want T-Track was because I didn't want any metal in my benches. I wanted it to be all wood. But I could have T-Track without having metal because I make my own T-Track now that looks just like this. I have this bit, and I could set up my router on my Festool track, and I could lock this down, and I could run T-Track as often as I want. I could go right in the center between these rows of holes, and I could go both directions. So it wouldn't add any metal. It wouldn't cost me anything but time, and it wouldn't add any weight because actually I'd be taking wood away. So I'd be reducing the weight. So if T-Track would improve or add any functionality, I would do it. But to date, I have not come up with any reason to have T-Track in the Paulk Smart Bench. The Smart Fam is a huge brain trust, very creative, and the work I've seen you all put out is just very impressive. And the things you create, in fact, I love seeing when you take the smart ideas and leverage them and do other things with them. So if I'm missing something, if there's something that having T-Track could allow me to do that I can't already do, then in the comments down below, let me know what that is. And also, if you're watching this video, check the comments out so you can read them too and see what other people think. If you'd like to build your own smart bench, smart station, router table, any of the accessories that work with the smart system, or the smart wood shop itself, there's a link in the description of this video down below. Mahalo for hanging out with me in the smart wood shop.